What's going on, everybody? I'm Primalliquid and welcome back to my 100% playthrough for Final Fantasy III. We are now on part number 24 and of course that does mean we are coming up to the very end of this game series, guys. We've only got probably this video and then the next one to be done with, because in this one we are going to be taking on the optional super boss, the Iron Giant. Now, one of the things I have done is I've finished my own equipment grind, so naturally, you know, because we were fighting the dragons, they do give a crap ton of EXP, which does of course mean we hit level 99, and I have own equipment on all 4 characters now, apart from the Ultima weapon, which does have 1 less attack than the Onin sword, but it gives more stats, even though at level 99 the Onin Knight is max stats anyway, but it is what it is. Anyway, let's talk about the Iron Giant. Right after I say a big thank you to all of my lovely Patreons. Guys, thank you all so much for the support. It really means a lot and it helps out tremendously, especially with the bait of demonetization that the FF8 playthrough has been going through lately. So I really appreciate the support and it does help out tremendously. And of course, if anybody else wants to get the name on screen and get some goodies, then go ahead and take a look at the Patreon link down below in the description. Okay, so the Iron Giant is the super boss in Final Fantasy III. It was added in the 3D version of the game, so the Nintendo 3DS version, the original Steam version, which is based on the Nintendo DS, and it is essentially would-be end-all of super bosses. Well, I'd say would-be end-all. There are some that are worse than this, but this is probably one of the worst. And what makes this one of the worst is the fact that you pretty much have to be sort of level 82 minimum to even like stand a chance of surviving its first round of attacks. And the reason for that is the Iron Giant attacks 4 times in a row. So you know how most bosses in this game attack twice? Well, yeah, the Iron Giant attacks 4 times. It also has pretty much max stats. It is incredibly difficult. Along with it, it's just like humongous health pool. Now, if you're going to fight the Iron Giant, there are definitely a few things I would suggest doing. The first is, if you want an easier time, use the Onin Knight class. If you aren't going to be using Onin Knight though, and you want to use like general classes, there are a couple of necessities. So straight off of the bat, you will need a Devout. And the reason for that is Devout is pretty much the best healer in the game. Like, this is 100% mandatory. You need a good healer for this fight, unless you're level 99 Onin Knight. Even then, you're probably still going to need one character with some healing spells. After that, I would definitely suggest a Knight to be your tanking unit. You've got cover, high defense, good armor selection, and so on and so forth. So the Knight is there to essentially help your Devout survive longer. After that, you can either play safely and go with a second Devout if you want, you know, just for the extra added heals, the more MP, extra buffs and things like that. If you don't want to go for that bit of safety, then I would definitely say go with something like a summoner or a ninja. Now, the reason I suggest these two is these are above and beyond the highest damage dealers in this particular fight, because the Iron Giant has massive physical defense, so a summoner could do a lot of work here, basically, especially summoning something like Bahamut. As for ninja, I mean, it just stands to reason. Ninja's broken as crap. It can throw shurikens. If you go to Eureka by 99 shurikens, yeah, ninja is probably going to be the highest DPS class you can use in this battle. There is one thing that you should definitely know about though, and this is probably the Iron Giant's most brutal point. Every time it uses a physical attack, it will inflict a massive amount of negative status effects. So you pretty much need to go into this fight with a ribbon, Onin shield, Aegis shield, something like that that just completely makes you immune to status effects. Otherwise, you're going to have a bad time, because we've already seen how bad status effects are in this game. Anyway, wow, I wonder how long it took nature to form a cave like this. I don't think nature formed that, dude. Like, that looks a little... Yeah, I mean, there's like symbols and that all around the pedestal. Nature didn't form that, dude. There's nothing here. Let's get out of here. Just had to say it. Just had to say it, man. Had to say it, didn't he? You're too big. Oh, well, I mean, that's what she said, you know. Right, okay. So, when it comes to the Iron Giant, we can use magic, but we're not going to, because I have basically endgame equipment at this point. I am going to just use normal attacks with everybody, and as you can see, it doesn't really do a lot. Even a critical only did a couple of thousand. So as you can see right there, you know, I'm doing like 2,000 damage a hit. And keep in mind, guys, right, I am max level, I have the best equipment, I am stat maxed and everything. That's how brutal this boss is. And as you can see right there, he attacks 4 times in a row. That is what makes this fight so damn challenging. It is not an easy fight at all, guys. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start setting up buffs on everybody, basically. We're going to go for haste first. Realistically, I should have... in fact, you know what? Let's try Meteor and see what that does. Realistically, I should have had some extra buff spells on all units, just to make life that little bit easier, you know? Because that way I could get haste up quicker, I could get protect up quicker, and so on and so forth. Ooh, Meteor actually did pretty good, but I can only use it 4 times, sadly. I'm going to try Flare, though, see if I can do more than 5,000. But yeah, this is definitely going to be one of those times now where you can't go on autopilot for this battle. Like, you definitely cannot go on autopilot for this fight. You do have to pay attention of your healing and things like that. So, obviously, right now, as you can see, he's only done about 1,500 max per hit. But that could really start ramping up, you know? So, we're going to keep Jason on haste duty right now. Let's try Flare, see what that does. But yeah, we're going to keep haste going for now. Once I've got haste up, I think I will probably go for something like... Ooh, Flare did max. I'm gonna stick to Flare. But yeah, once I've got haste up, I'm probably going to start using Protect. And then from that point on, I don't know. I've not worked out what we're going to do yet. This is one of those fights where you have to take it as it comes, you know? You can't just pre-plan it all. Like, it's not like Penance in FF10 or anything like that. You know, where you basically know exactly how the fight's gonna go right from the get-go. It's not like that at all. You really do have to think about what you use and when. What other buffs do I have? No, see, I've only got haste, so I don't have any other, like, damaging buffs, unfortunately. Bit of a shame, but what can you do, you know? The only downside, though, is how much health he has. So if you don't know, the Iron Giant actually has just a casual 200,000 HP. So, using our normal physical attacks, we kind of need like 100 attacks, basically. So it's not gonna be an easy or a quick fight by any means. Right, looking at my health now, I should probably heal. I should definitely probably heal. Like, it's gonna be a 50-50. So if Jason or Moop gets attacked 3 times, they're probably going to die. But I'm gonna risk it now to get haste up on Jason, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just start going all out on healing and attacking. And this is why I say, like, you need to be very, very particular with what classes you choose to come into this fight with. It's like, you definitely need at least one devote, basically, because of how long this fight's gonna take. You're gonna be healing a lot. Now, even if you go for like a full-on damage route, you know, you went for summoners and... Oh, that's bad. But yeah, if you went for summoners and ninjas, if you didn't have like any kind of tank or healer, then you're probably gonna die in this fight, to be honest. Because even if your damage is high, if you don't have like the survivability, you're not gonna get very far. Right, let's heal everybody here. I'm not actually sure how much health this is going to restore either. Like, I'm hoping it's a lot, but we'll see. Come on. Come on. Give me like a good 6-7k, please. Please. Ooh. Not as much as I would have liked. I definitely would have liked more than that. What I think I should have done, though, is I probably should have stuck, like, Flare on everybody and Curager on everybody. That definitely would have made things much easier. You know what, though? I think I'm gonna stick Protect on everybody. Yeah, we'll stick Protect on everybody. It will come in handy for lowering the physical damage, at the very least. Now, let's turn Auto Battle on, just to speed the animations up a little. I have to admit, I don't like how the animations are slow, and then you turn Auto Battle on, and it does speed them up. Right, I'm going to have to use Protect on Mook next. Because his health is getting really low. Yeah, see, only 200 damage there on Arid with Protect up. Ooh. Okay, you know what, actually? Let's go ahead and use an Elixir. One of the good things about farming the dragons for the equipment and to level up in that is... with the dragons, their most common drop is actually an Elixir. So getting a nice big stash of them is actually really beneficial, because it means I can easily fully heal pretty much instantly whenever I want in this fight. Obviously, I would need to do it individually per character, but the option is still there at the end of the day. And what I also could have done as well is I could have forgone a little bit more defense, and I could have got a second Onin sword to equip on everybody. You know, so rather than having a sword and a shield on them, they could have both had just 2 swords. That would have basically doubled my damage, but I don't know, like, with a fight like this, I definitely am more of the mindset that it is better to play it safe, you know? Even with Protect up and only taking like 200 damage, safety is still the main priority, because I know the fact that I can damage it. So as long as I can do damage, he's gonna die eventually. Like, there's no worry there. Even if I don't bother like reapplying haste or anything like that, he will eventually die, and that's the big thing. That's why I'm focusing so much on defense and survivability right now, because at the end of the day, that's more important, you know? Like, I'd rather have a successful long fight than a non-successful quick death, if that makes sense. Right, so we'll get the last Protect up, and then I will use an AoE Curager, which should top up Shane and Moop. And then I think I'll probably just set myself on Auto Battle with normal attacks for a little bit. Yeah, I think that's the way we'll go. Right, where's Curager? There it is. So if we get Curager on everybody again and we start attacking, let's auto this to get through. Obviously my attack is lower now because haste has fallen off, which is probably one of the annoying things about only having one character with haste. But it's not the end of the world. It does just mean things will be a little bit slower, that's all. Right, so Protect is up on everybody. We are full health pretty much, so let's just start attacking. So obviously, you know, as you can see right now, attacks are not the way to go in this fight. As I mentioned earlier on, you know, if you want to deal damage to this, your best bet is something like a ninja or a summoner. You know, like you want something like Bahamut, basically. And that's kind of where I went wrong in using 4 Onin Knights. Even though they are like basically the best class in the game, unfortunately the Iron Giant encounter is, I'm not gonna say a hard counter for them, like by any means. It's not a hard counter. It just makes the fight a little longer because the damaging options are not quite as good, unfortunately, if that makes sense, you know? That's why we choose to go with the Onin Knights, just for defense more than anything. But we'll be okay, I think. It's like, luckily enough, Protect actually stays up for quite a while as well. So we don't necessarily need to worry too much about that. It's like, we already know Meteor does 0 damage because of being max stat. So we just have to give it to him, that's all. And you know what? Someone's actually at the front door, so I'm going to have to pause this for a moment, and we will be right back, everybody. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's resume, shall we? Wait, why do I have no audio? Oh, wait, no, my headset turned off. Whoopsie daisy. Look, guys, tech problems, okay? Tech problems. It's not related to stream only anymore. Now it's happening on videos as well. Oh, god damn it. Well, it is what he says. Right, let's turn auto battle on to speed up, and I'm gonna apologize if I was in the middle of a conversation before I had to run off to the door, because I've completely forgot not only if I was on about something, but even like where I was in said conversation. Ooh, there's the AoE. That's not nice. So that AoE is what I was really worried about. Because as you saw, even though I have Protect up, it still did a solid, like, 1500 damage. Well, right there, 1600. Now, that AoE is pretty damn nasty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn Auto Battle off right now. And I'm going to use a Curager with Jason again. This is the part now where we really have to start paying attention. Basically, because now that he's using the swipe attack, that basically means we're somewhere around halfway. Not exactly halfway, but somewhere around there. And so now that is probably the biggest thing to watch out for the simple fact of if we actually lose. In fact, you know, I'm gonna just use Curager on everybody now, and I'm gonna keep that going constantly. But yeah, if we were to lose Protect, that swipe would actually deal insane damage. So that's why we have to be really, really careful with this now. And that's why, even though I've got it on auto, I'm going to leave Curager going every single turn. Because, well, he attacks 4 times. If he uses 4 swipes in a row, which the odds are very low. Like, straight off the bat, the odds of that are very, very low for him to use it all 4 times. But he can definitely use it twice in a row. And that's where the problem starts coming in. Because that means we're going to really start getting hammered a lot. And I'm going to have to be very, very careful with the healing. Especially with the fact he's using it every single turn as well. Now, when it comes to the healing side, obviously I've only got Jason. That's honestly my mistake there. Like, really, I should have definitely had Curager and Curager. Maybe a Ryza as well, on at least 2 characters. Just so I've got a backup healer, just in case. It's like, that is definitely a big mistake on my part. And I'm confident I'll still be okay. Like, I'm definitely confident. Oh, Protect is wearing off. That's not good. That's really, really not good. Right, okay. We're gonna have some elixirs going out here, I think. And we're also gonna have Protect going out as well. Yeah, see, this is what I was on about earlier when I mentioned the fact that you can't just auto this fight. You've got to pay attention, unfortunately. I suppose as a benefit, like at the very least, I do have my elixirs, which, I mean, they're not the best by any means. In fact, elixirs, see, 3,000 a swipe with no Protect. That's gonna be brutal. But no, like, with using elixirs, that should restore my MP as well. So I should be able to just spam Flare with Moop now, actually. Alright, let's just keep popping elixirs while I get Protect up on everybody. Moop can start spamming Flare, sure. At least that way I'm still doing, you know, a good amount of damage each turn, I guess. Small victories, you know. Really? Okay. He must have started using swipe late then. Well, that caught me by surprise. Like, I honestly thought we were only about halfway through the fight. But yeah, we beat the Iron Giant, 99,999 gil and 24,999 EXP because we had all 4 characters alive. I mean, the gil and the EXP is both set to 99,999, but obviously, you know, it's split by 4. And there we go. The Iron Giant is defeated. Damn, that was close. Certainly was a beast. Perhaps it is connected to the shooting star that King Alice spoke of. It doesn't matter, we beat it! Yes, we did. I guess we're getting stronger. Hell yeah, we're getting stronger, dude. We're, like, seriously amazing. Like, oh my god. Shame we can't just steal his giant-ass sword, though. Could you imagine? We obtained the medal card. Now, the medal card is much like the Job Master cards, where, you know, it doesn't really do a whole lot, to be honest. Like, it's more, you know, like with FF10, for example, once you beat, what's it called? Nemesis. I had to really think that for a second, and I even pressed the wrong button because of it. But no, once you beat Nemesis, you get the Marker of Conquest. And then also in FF8, once you beat Omega, you get the key item there as well. It's essentially the same thing. It's just a key item that's basically like, hey, you beat this boss, you know? Right, let's go ahead and go back to our Invincible. I am gonna just use the beds to rest because, you know, my health is not that high at the moment. So yeah, we're definitely gonna rest for a bit. And of course, one of the things to keep in mind as well, guys, is do remember I was using Onin Knights there. I was using max level Onin Knights with perfect equipment. So if you were to use regular jobs in that fight, you're gonna have a much more difficult time, especially if you're using a ninja and a summoner, because I mean the swipe on them it's gonna deal massive damage. Even if you have protect on, it's not gonna lower it like just where it was only, you know, a couple hundred to 1,000 sort of thing. It's not gonna be anywhere like that at all, and that's why I actually went with Onin Knights, just because of the facts, like, not so much that it was easier, more along the fact of it's less random, if that makes sense. So obviously you can't control who the Iron Giant targets, and if you have one of those fights where he just decides, you know what, I'm gonna bully this one person, it's not difficult in that situation, it's just straight up unfair, you know, it's just pure RNG at that point. And I dislike fights like that where, you know, it's RNG if you can win or not. It's like I don't mind fights like that in, say, a challenge run, because that's a challenge run, you know, like you're meant to have fights like that, or like a mods run, you know. But when it comes to a base fight in the base game, that's when I start having issues with things like that, essentially, because I think it should be more strategy based, you know. And a ninja or a summoner or even a devout in the back row on the main game, it's like, without protect, they're probably gonna get one shot, to be honest. Like, they're not gonna survive all that well, to be fair, which is kind of annoying, to be honest, but it is what it is. Just like me ending the video right here is what it is. I'm sorry to say, guys, but yes, we will be ending it right here. But that does, of course, mean in the next one we will be taking on the Crystal Tower and the World of Darkness, which means, yeah, the next video will be the last Final Fantasy III video, guys. I hope you are looking forward to it. And guess what? It's gonna be out tomorrow. It's like no more delays with FF3. I'm not completely back to 100% in terms of health, but I am getting there. Like, I am definitely feeling a lot better now. So we're gonna be going back to you know, a more normal, more consistent schedule with content. So I hope you're excited for what's coming. If you are though, then please be sure to hit that like button and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about the video. And of course, if you are new to the channel, then make sure you smash that subscribe button as well. As always though, everybody, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.